We're excited this morning to be with Andy Luber from Virion Therapeutics. And Andy, you got a really interesting start as I look at the founders and leaders of biopharm companies. You went to pharmacy school.
Yeah, as my mom would say, I'm the most overtrained pharmacist you've ever met. I did. I went to pharmacy school in the late 80s and got my bachelor's in pharmacy, and then went on and did my doctorate at the time when those were not really mandated. I just thought it'd be a good option to get more education. And then I went out west and did residencies and fellowships. And so at a time when most people were working in pharmacies and dispensing, I was going and doing residencies and fellowships. And so I guess I never found what I wanted to do, and I just kept going.
Well, so your path has led you to be a co-founder of Virion Therapeutics. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing there. It seems like there's some exciting things in the pipe.
Yeah, it's a really exciting technology that we licensed from the Wistar Institute. We're developing novel T-cell based immunotherapies, but we use a first-in-class genetically encoded checkpoint inhibitor, and we couple that to a disease-specific stimulus. And what's really unique about it is we get very potent and very durable CD8 T cells specific to the diseases that we're targeting. And this really opens up a lot of diseases with high unmet medical need. And it also allows for larger patient populations where the monoclonal antibody therapies, such as PD-1 and PD-L1 antibodies, where they're either limited for toxicity or they just don't have the ligands. And so we think we have a unique solution to get around some of that.
How did the affiliation with Wistar occur?
Yeah. We had some really good relationships with Heather Steinman, who's over at the Wistar now, head of business development there. We had worked at Penn in their Upstart program and knew Heather from there. And when she went over to Wistar, she asked, would we take a look at the portfolio? And, for those who are not familiar with the Wistar, they kind of get overshadowed by Penn and Philly. They are exceptional. There's some exceptional science going on there, Joe. And so we looked at the portfolio and the data from the Ertl lab, from Gandhi Ertl's lab there, it's just spectacular, jumped off the page. And so, we really wanted to get that asset and a series of assets from them, and we were able to negotiate the license with Heather.
And so now that you're working with Gandhi, so she's got a foot in both worlds. She's still actively involved at Wistar and leading the science that you're working on.
That's correct. I mean, Gandhi is such an out-of-box thinker. I mean, she's such a creative thinker. For those who follow the chimpanzee adenoviral vector space, the Oxford vaccine that's developing the COVID vaccine, as well as GSK and some others that have chimp vectors, Gandhi, along with Jim Wilson, is the pioneer of that technology. I mean, she's actually on the original patents and discovered it. And now this checkpoint inhibitor she's discovered is a very unique one as well. And she's just someone who just creates value and continues to create cutting-edge science. But most importantly, she creates science that are very applicable for clinical development. Lots of people create science that don't have clinical utility and play into other things. Her science is just spectacular for clinical utility.
So Andy, how has the SARS-CoV-2 effect impacted you guys?
Yeah, COVID's been really one of those things that's it's been very difficult for everybody. I mean, the biggest difficulty is the unknown. I mean, it impacts everybody's clinical development programs. And when you're doing development programs, unknown and unknown duration is not two things you want to have. And so we opted to control what we could control. And we had a series of things that we wanted to accelerate, and do other programs we wanted to accelerate more quickly, improve our manufacturing processes and things we were putting off until after our first in human study. This really gave us an opportunity. And in fact, we were looking at vendors and different CROs to do other things, and slots opened. When people were canceling their programs or delaying their programs, we were able, because we were nimble, to get our stuff into those slots and get them accelerated, and they're ongoing now.
So you've actually capitalized on the opportunity that it has presented, and you've commented that this is an interesting time from the standpoint of investment in biopharma.
Yeah.
I wondered if you wanted to say a little bit more about that.
Yes. So, I mean, everybody sort of wants clinical stage assets and things that are heading to the clinic now or immediately. And unfortunately, COVID is going to delay them for an unknown period of time. And so people like Virion and companies like Virion and others that are accelerating their development programs, that when COVID lets up and clinical trials become available again, well, we're going to have accelerated assets. And so it may be an opportunity for both pharma and the investment community to look at slightly earlier assets. There's lots of opportunity, lots of good science, and I think it's a good chance for a step up in valuation for people looking for good deals.
Anything in the works for you guys?
We got lots of stuff going on. We're talking to lots of people. We're happy to engage more. So if any of your listeners are looking to make a solid investment, we're happy to talk to you.
Well, to that point, why is Virion an opportunity for investors today?
Yeah, we have some really cutting edge programs. I mean, so the problem with a lot of diseases is that T cell exhaustion limits their activity, or they're not very, T cells that are induced are not highly immunogenic. Our platforms solve that. For example, our chronic hepatitis B virus program, we are the first T cell platform to show multi-log sustained viral load reductions in preclinical animal models. And that's because we are able to overcome some of the issues of T cell exhaustion. And that has a lot of applicability across a lot of different diseases. And so I think we have a unique solution to what's been a problem for a long time.
Well, we really appreciate the opportunity to catch up with you at this moment in time, as very exciting things in the works, and we will watch closely as things unfold.
Well,
Thanks
Joe,
very much for your time today.
And Joe, thank you, and I hope everyone stays safe out there, and really take care of everyone. Thanks, guys.